Good afternoon, or should I say evening, morning. Morning? At any rate, I am the Game Master. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Before we begin, there is something I must tell you. You see, my job is to draw you into this world with my voice and cards, which is why I believe it best for you to play with the sound on. In fact, I insist on it. However, as you can see, my voice is subtitled, so you can always read along as well. Now then, are you ready? Let's begin. Welcome to Voice of Cards. You are about to take the first steps of your adventure. Through a realm of sword and sorcery you will travel, battling bloodthirsty monsters as you strive to realize your ambitions. I have every faith you will accomplish great things here. I am merely a witness to your exploits. Now then, your departure draws nigh. May your journey be a safe one. We begin in a cave. The surrounding rocks are slimy with damp. It feels as if some foul creature could leap out from the shadows at any moment. Yet in this horrible place gathers a fellowship of 3 adventurers. One is a young woman. You can tell just by looking at her, she enjoyed a good upbringing. Another is a stoic warrior. He stands at the ready, scanning his surroundings for any sign of threat. Last but not least is the old man. He has a sagely air and gazes into the darkness stretching out before him. These adventurers seek a certain treasure hidden in this cave. An iron door towers before you. It has rather conspicuous handles. The stoic man takes hold of the handles and pulls as hard as he can, but the door doesn't so much as budge. The stoic man winds his leg back and lets fly a powerful kick into the door. As his foot connects, the door trundles to the side. So it was one of those sliding contraptions. Something leaps out at the fellowship from the darkness. These adventurers have seen their fair share of battle and defeat their attackers with ease. As the trio approaches the treasure chest, an awful rump. You shall not have it. Before the wary trio appear creatures the likes of which they've never seen. About the enemy. Nice work. The young woman edges around the monster's bulk to stand. There is treasure inside, no doubt about it, but it's locked tight. The woman slides the simple key into the lock. The chest clicks open. Inside is what appears for all the world to be an ordinary. At last, we've retrieved the royal treasure, the old man says. The woman and warrior exchange a nod. Their quest complete, the triumphant trio put the cave behind them. This is Castle Advent. Queen Nilla reigns over the kingdom from within its walls. In the crowded audience chamber jostle all manner of knights, and the white-robed adventurers stand close to the throne. A palace guard calls over the tumult, "Be silent. Her Royal Majesty graces us with her presence." The cacophony ceases the moment Queen Nilla enters the chamber. Seated upon the throne, the Queen faces the crowd. Her lips part. "Thank you all for heeding my call to slay the dragon. Whatever it takes to defeat this reawakened evil, whomsoever conquers this beast will be honored for ages to come and handsomely rewarded." At that, the gathered crowd cheers loud enough to shake the "Leave the dragon to us, Your Majesty," say the white-robed adventurers, as if the beast's demise at their hands is assured. "Indeed, you did well to reclaim the royal treasure," the Queen replies. "I thank you, for my stomach becomes most upset without it. So the treasure is a staple of the royal medicine cabinet. It puts my mind at ease to know the Ivory Order offers its aid in slaying the dragon. The trio are disciples of the Ivory Order, a charitable organization beloved the realm over. Indeed, anyone would think this illustrious trio the heroes of our tale. But they'd be wrong. So we just gotta slay the dragon and we'll be drowning in gold." The man trails off, drooling over unknowable fantasy. Beside him, a strange creature lets out a chirping coo. Pay attention, because this is important. There he is, or there you are, I should say, the hero of our tale. A humble bounty hunter, you love little in this realm more than coin. A seemingly tedious fellow who doesn't hesitate to claim the title of hero for yourself. When you heard about the quest to slay the dragon, it was the promise of reward that lured you to the castle. Now then, if you wish to officially register for the hunt, see me so I can get your signature. You wonder why you need to sign anything, but head for the guard anyway. Shall we? We of the Ivory Order will be the ones to restore peace to the land. My colleague made me come along, but he didn't mention we were going on a quest to slay the dragon, she says, trembling. The man takes one look at your companion and shrieks, "Monster!" If the heroes of the Ivory Order are hunting the dragon, he's as good as dead, says the man, relief spreading across his face. You think the dragon's really as tough as they say? Asks the man, his knees knocking together. That reward for slaying the dragon is as good as mine, barks the man. You'll need tough gear if you're going to beat the dragon, the man tells you. Keep your ears perked. You never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The man says, you think. Have you registered yet? Says the guard. Scared of the dragon? Scoffs the guard. The Ivory Order trio stands before you. They seem not the most approachable of parties, but... You inquire about their identities. We are disciples of the Ivory Order. It is our duty to aid the realm and its people however we can. The Order's principal focus is developing medicine to distribute to people throughout the world. They begin blathering an answer to a question you didn't even ask. Sensing a long lecture ahead, you seize on the first chance to extricate yourself from their presence. You try to speak to Queen Nilla, but a guard figures a nobody bounty hunter can't just walk up to a queen and start chatting like they're best friends. Go talk to the guard on the left to sign your name on the register. Sign here, says the guard, handing you a pen and paper. For some reason or another, you've written your name incorrectly. Let's try this again. You sign your name. A fine name. After you've signed, the guard motions to the strange creature beside you. You sign your companion's name as well. Mar. Mar, your friend and sometimes traveling companion. Though he can't speak the human tongue, he seems to understand it well enough. Thank you. Now we'll know what to have engraved on your tombstones. Can't ask the dead what name to mark their grave with, after all, the guard chortles. You want the reward as badly as you don't want to die. You figure you better make some strong friends. Offer to join forces with the Ivory Order trio? With no particular business, you take your leave. You've yet to find any help for your quest. Things don't look that reassuring as they are, but the decision is up to you. We select few are sufficient to defeat the dragon. And we certainly don't require the aid of a no-name wastrel. With that, the trio takes their leave of the castle. Let us depart. We have a realm to save. He grabs his less than enthused. You catch a glimpse of the terrified look on her face, and then the two disappear out of the audience chamber. You ask him to team up, but he refuses angrily. You weren't planning on sharing either, so you don't try to change his mind. Before you even open your mouth to ask him to team up, he cuts you off. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll let the Order handle this. Me, I'm heading home. No way am I adventuring with anyone who keeps that sort of creepy company, he says. Never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The man wanders off somewhere, muttering to himself. You'll need tough gear, the man says, wandering off. I am one of the guards charged with the castle's protection. I'll leave the dragon slaying to you adventurers. I am one of the guards charged with the castle's protection. I take not a single step from my post. Don't get yourself killed out there, says the guard curtly. Asking Queen Nilla to join you is beyond preposterous. The castle will close to visitors shortly. Please be on your way. You're shooed out of the castle. In the end, you set out, just the two of you, to hunt the dragon. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. A weapons merchant accosts you in the street, despite your best efforts to mind your own business. He speaks to you in a voice barely above a whisper. You want the most powerful weapon there ever was? He conspicuously checks his surroundings before revealing this weapon of apparent renown to you. To hear him tell it, this is a legendary weapon, and one of its kind at that. It can be yours for 20,000 gold pieces, he says. You can smell the scam a mile away, and yet the aura of this weapon does have something of the legendary about it. You ask who in their right mind would pay so much for something so clearly fake, stolen, or forged. Well, you know where to find me, if you change your mind, he says, tucking the weapon away. The old man kindly warned you of the dangerous monsters outside of town. The child says you should see Nexton as soon as you leave the castle town. Earlier you saw the bit about the handsome reward for whoever slays the dragon, and hightailed it to the castle. A woman stares at the sign, transfixed. Her face curls into a scowl as she notices you. "Monster!" the woman cries, and flings magic at Mar. Startled by the spell, Mar grows dizzy. You gather the dizzy Mar in your arms and glare at the woman. "This ain't a monster," you growl, as the woman snarls over you, "I hate monsters." The two of you bicker for quite a while. In the end, the woman admits she may have jumped to conclusions, but stubbornly refuses to apologize. Inwardly, you call her unsavory names as your attention shifts to a different topic of conversation. Turns out she really hates the dragon and would love to take him down with her own two hands. But she knows she's no match for him alone, so she's at a loss for what to do. When you tell her you're after the same thing, she squints down her nose at you. "Fine," she says, "I can help you." She's a little annoying, but you are looking for quest companions. "I only want to see the dragon dead. I don't care about anything else." You overhear her remarks and grin without thinking. Then you don't care about... That suits you perfectly. You happily join forces with the Black... She introduces herself as Melanie. She tells you she is a witch, but says nothing of why she hates monsters or what grudge she bears against the dragon. You peek inside the carriage shop only to hear the owner call out that they're closed. Guess you won't be making use of them after all. The door is shut tight. You spy a keyhole on it, suggesting the existence of a corresponding key. How may I help you? The proprietor inquires. Will that be all? The proprietor asks. The woman tells you she's so terrified of what might happen if the dragon attacks the town. She hasn't been able to eat. Welcome to Nexton, hails a man. The man doesn't respond to any question except to parrot back his original greeting. The man helpfully advises you take the opportunity to purchase equipment and curatives while you are in town. A woman sits hunched over by the side of the road. Upon catching sight of you, she calls out for your aid. She's sprained her ankle and needs you to take her to the nearby apothecary. You try to lift the woman into your arms, but the weight's too much for you to bear. You lay the woman back down where you found her and mutter a quiet farewell before turning to leave. Upon seeing that, Melanie snaps. What kind of person are you? Ain't like it's my fault she's hurt, you whine like a child. Ignoring you, Melanie gingerly helps the woman up. Mar bends so the woman can get on his back, and the two of them head off in search of the apothecary. You watch them walk away for a moment before following, complaining to yourself about what a waste of time this is. You arrive at the apothecary. After taking a curative, the woman begins hopping up and down. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, she beams. She thanks you and pulls something from her breast pocket. You've helped someone, albeit not quite out of the goodness of your own heart. It might be a good idea to do that again, should you come across anyone else in need of assistance. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, proclaims the woman, swigging this curate. It seems the majority of the world's medicine is made by the Ivory. That's probably part of the reason the Order has so many ardent supporters. The girl says if you follow this road northwest for a bit, you'll come to Thriston. On your way to defeat the dragon, are you? The innkeeper gives you a room free of charge in a show of support for any and all who wish to defeat the dragon. The party leaves the inn feeling rested. Apparently a monster researcher lives at Thriston and might know something about the dragon. It seems you've learned all you can here. Time to move on. As your eyes roam everywhere but the path you walk, you barrel right into someone. When you turn to see who it is, you see the Ivory Order trio. Winifred, are you all right? The sagely old man asks the woman, voice full of concern. I'm fine, the woman called Winifred replies. Berwin, the old man calls, turning to their stoic companion. He jerks forward, as if to defend Hedwin and Winifred. The trio advances on you. How dare you treat disciples of the Ivory Order with such disrespect? You grab your foot, wailing about how much it hurts, demanding the Ivory Order trio give you money to see a physician. Berwin pokes at your foot, proving nothing is actually broken. Muttering a half-hearted apology, you try to keep walking. But that's when you notice something in your hand. Looks like you accidentally grabbed Winifred's coin purse when you ran into her. Thief, bellows Berwin, drawing his weapon. Guess you've got to fight your way past. Nice work. Fortune favors the bold. Don't worry. The coffin cart is down, but they're still alive. The Ivory Order laid you out flat. The Ivory Order trio looks at you like they can't believe such a weakling would even try to hunt down the dragon. Taking pity on your ineptitude, the Ivory Order trio uses their magic. We mustn't tarry any longer. To the monster researcher of Thriston with us, Hedwin urges his companions and the trio depart. Aimless wandering can be fun, but if you want purpose and direction, I'd suggest sticking to the path. Lying in the grass, you find an old telescope. You figure a look at the path ahead can't hurt, and pick it up. Peering through the lens, you see something in the distance, but you can't tell exactly what. All you know is there's something up ahead. You should be able to tell for certain what it is if you get closer. You leave the janky telescope where you found it, and make your way cautiously toward what you saw. You spot a loitering monster. These monsters are a common sight, but you've never seen one move quite like this before. You can't not fight such a unique monster. Eagerly, you draw your blade. And fight. Pick up a scrap of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering. Clearly, whoever dropped this message did not want to forget where the stolen treasure is hidden. You stash the scrap of paper in your pack and resolve to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels. And 5. You come across 2 men sitting on a rock. They take no notice of you or the party. You listen in and deduce that they are a pair of thieves. You lean in, trying to hear what else the thieves are talking about. You catch... I hid the goods. Head south just before the bridge. No, whatever ye do, don't go into the bewildering wood. It sounds like they've just told you where to find... You hastily grab a scrap of paper, write down what you've heard, and quietly sneak away. Upon your courage, you toss the janky telescope aside. You charge ahead with your... Looks like a monster, but it's not moving like the sight of you startles it away. Something's catching the sunlight just so. You move closer, you find a chest lodged in the hollow. Something about this feels familiar. You fish and sure enough, this is the location those thieves mentioned when you were quite convinced you found their stash. You open the chest with a self-satisfied smirk on your face. You come across a gaping hole in the ground. A sign beside it depicts a piece of armor, followed by, "Do not." It's only human to want to do exactly what you're told not to. However willing you might be, you don't have the armor depicted, so you walk away. About the enemy. That was lucky. Gradually become aware of a voice calling out to your party. Looking around, you spy an old man. A traveler like you yank the old man free. "Oh, while you're here, would you mind taking me to Nexton? It seems an old friend of his lives in Nexton, and he says he'll make it worth your while. Will you show him the way to Nexton?" You ask the old man about himself. It turns out he belongs to a wealthy family. Visions of lavish rewards begin to dance in your head. You offer him safe passage to Nexton. wealthy old man looks considerably relieved as the party sets foot and he reaches into his pack and hands you a pouch full of gold. This is to be the next instant he takes off for the center of town, shouting, "I shall be there soon, my love." About the enemy. About the enemy. Excellent. can't walk on water. And fight. You spy a rather large number of monster prints on the ground. A wry smile plays across your lips as you remove the scrap of paper from your pack. You pull from your pack the scrap of paper you picked up just north of Castle Advent. You feel around in the grass for a few moments before your hand strikes something surprisingly firm. The scrap of paper tells no lies. You greedily open the chest. Kick a rock down the road, muttering about what jerks those three from the Ivory Order are. Cut it out, chides Melanie. She warns you your anger will only come back. You grumble. But your sulking is cut short when out of the thicket leaps a monster. The rock you kicked must have hit it because it is really mad. Brace yourself for battle. pitch black inside the cave. Who knows what dangers lurk within? Maybe you should prepare first. You are surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this. You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. These are my unsold wares. I would be happy to sell to you for a fraction of the price, the old woman says as she lines up some medicine bottles before you. I'm closing for the day, she announces as she packs up her goods. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here. Welcome. 100 gold pieces will get you wherever you're headed. You will be instantly transported to any location you've previously visited. Travel for 100 gold? Well, if it isn't the head of the National Inn Association's son. You've clearly been mistaken for someone else, but the innkeeper looks so excited that you dare not burst her bubble. Your room is free. It seems the sound of a flute could once often be heard coming from the doctor. His neighbors complained about the noise, though, and all has been quiet since. The man says you'll need a torch to explore caves, and, he adds, it just so happens you can buy them at the item shop. You get the feeling he probably works for said shop. man scours his skin with a washcloth. Apparently, he blames his natural musk for his unlucky. You catch a whiff of scent wafting off him. It is. An idea strikes you. Maybe getting rid of the toxins within the body would get rid of the odor without, too. You hand him an antidote and he chugs it down. As soon as he's finished, the odor complete. Overjoyed, the man resolves to tell the person he likes how he feels. From his breast pocket, the man pulls out something to give you in thanks. Apparently, monsters have been mugging people along this stretch of road. The Ivory Order is searching for where they're stashing the stolen goods. The woman tells you a monster stole something very valuable from her. If only someone could get it. What did it steal, you ask? Medicine, says the woman, to give my skin a lustrous glow. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. The woman, who fashions herself a missionary of love, haughtily cries she's too beautiful and popular for her own good. This is the game parlor. Come play cards, the boy at reception calls. Good job. The boy praises you, proffering a gift in commemoration of your first win. Not bad. The boy praises you, proffering a gift in commemoration of your win. You're something else, the boy praises you, proffering a gift in commemoration of your win. Are you the legendary card shark? The boy's hands are shaking as he proffers you a gift in commemoration of your win. Cyprian Ombre, I'm sorry. All the townsfolk affectionately call him Cypri. If anyone knows anything about the dragon, it's him. He's a veritable monster expert. You ask Cypri if he knows anything about the dragon. He says he'll tell you if you do him a favor. The monsters stole a precious treasure from him. If you reclaim the treasure, Cypri promises to tell you all he knows about the dragon. It seems the treasure-thieving monster makes its hideout in the western cave. That's where you'll want to head. You journey onward, only to see a suspicious-looking elder appear before you. He proclaims himself a man of medicine who has discovered a revolutionary new curative. There's no harm in trying it, he boldly claims. Well? You take the stranger at his word and drink one of the bottles dry. Everything in view is suffused with a soft light, and it is magnificent. Everyone looks so lovely. The reverie slowly fades. How long were you smitten? You can't say for sure. But everyone has taken us. After a long silence, the doctor of sorts speaks. I must confess, I had no idea it would have such a... Be that as it may, he seems pleased to have seen any effect at all. He hands you a gift for the trouble and walks off in high spirits. Light can't reach the furthest depths of the cave. It may be impossible to proceed without a torch. You light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated. Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance. Let's do this. fight. Congrats. That was lucky. And fight. Nice work. The door is shut tight. It seems upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity that looks like some sort of sphere should go there. Let's do this. Let's do this. That was lucky. Let's do this. You put the magic sphere into the cavity, and the door opens. Let's do this. claret trail leads you deeper into the cave. Was the walking wounded a monster or a human? A knot forms in your gut. You raise the torch to get a better look at your surroundings. The walls have been gouged and scarred as far as you can see. Another message comes into view, written in tiny letters among the scars. I will find you. What horrors transpired here? Good work. You press on, deeper into the cave. Light floods into the chamber, illuminating a scene so two mummified bodies lie close beside one another. There beside them, a message written in blood. We leave. Perhaps they were lovers? Whatever the case, you notice the bellwether. You gently pry it free, bend a knee, and say a small prayer for the dearly departed. Great. The ground tinkles beneath your feet. You look down to find it is littered with a message is carved into the ground. A bitter final missive from an adventurer done in by monsters, perhaps. Good work. That was lucky. And fight. fight. Let's do this. Excellent. You make to open the chest, but an ominous voice echoes around you. The next instant, something leaps at you out from the darkness. Don't hold back. Excellent. monster defeated, you turn toward the treasure chest and see those Ivory Order jerks rooting through it. You rush over, but you're too late to... Sweet of you to take care of the monsters for us, trills Winifred, tucking the spoils from the chest safely into a bag. The Ivory Order treat, knowing you couldn't stop them if you tried, you can do nothing but stand slack-jawed and watch them go. The chest is empty, save for a ragged doll. Nice of them to leave us the trash, you grumble in irritation. For some reason, Melanie picks up the ragged doll. Your shoulders slump. All that effort, and this is all you get. You find nothing else even close to treasure. Hope Cypri is ready for bad news. Leave now would be the fastest way out. You decide to stay and explore the cave a little longer. Fortune favors the bold. about the enemy. Now that she's reunited with her stolen skin medicine, the woman couldn't be happier. All thanks to the heroes from the Ivory Order, she says. A huge smile on her face, she begins applying the medicine all over her skin. Apparently, the woman is being harangued by some man. I don't know how many times I have to tell him he's just not my type, she sighs. The Ivory Order has heroically reclaimed the stolen good. I just knew Winifred and her fellowship could do it. Were you able to find my treasure? Cypri asked. This is all we found, says Melanie, withdrawing the ragged doll. Cypri's eyes widen as soon as he sees the doll, and he reaches out to take it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago, but she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri. What do you know about the dragon? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville, where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on your heel to leave. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood. Here to stay the night? The innkeeper asks the moment you set foot in the inn.
Oh
A thick fog impedes your vision. You surmise this is in no small part why they call it the Bewildering Wood. Many a brave soul has set foot in this wood, only to they also tell of a certain tool one needs to get through this place. That was lucky. Nice work. A message is written on the sign. Seek out the 4 stela hidden deep in these woods. Found the northern stela. It doesn't look particularly special. You resolve to touch it anyhow. Good work. About the enemy. The next Stela is... You hear someone murmuring? It sounds like a man, but you can't really be sure in these woods. Let's do this. Fortune favors the... About the enemy. You have found the southern Stela. You smack it and hear a sound off to the west. You'd best head that way next. Don't hold back. You have found the Western Stela, which you swear up and down was not here when you came in. Nevertheless, you give it a smack. Fortune favors the bold. The man sighs, realizing he may never be able to escape with his current tool set. The woman appears to be lost. How do I get out of here? She asks with furrowed brows. Trees bearing very solid-looking nuts whip to and fro in the force of the gale. This doesn't bode well for you. One of the nuts flies off a branch and smacks Mar right on the head. Poor Mar clutches the spot, eyes tearing up from the blow. Let's do this. And fight. You have found the Eastern Stela. You see the words Melody of Fortune chiseled into the corner. You have investigated all 4 of the Stela and the bewildering wood. You hear a sound, and it's not all that far away. You examine the Stela. The message carved into the Stela reads, "You hold the woodland flute you received from the good doctor in Thriston." You slowly back away from the Stela. You did great. You hear a beautiful melody flowing from the forest depths. It sounds like singing, or perhaps birdsong. As you listen closely, you are struck by a sudden dizzy spell. You sense a presence. The grass rustles, then a monster slowly shows itself from between the Realizing you've been caught in the harpy's trap, you ready your weapons. About the enemy. For some time after that, you find yourself trembling at the mere sound of a bird's tweet. Let's do this. Doot-doot-doot-doodly, doot-doot-doot-doo. You blow a handful of pleasant enough notes into the woodland flute. You soon become aware of accompanying percussion, which reveals itself to be a series of impeccably timed footfalls racing toward you. A young woman appears before you. "That was absolutely dreadful," she whinges. She calls herself Riddis and declares herself a woodlander, resident of the bewildering wood. By sheer coincidence, the flute on which you played those notes was one designed to call the woodland people to your side. Stunned by your good fortune, you ask Riddis to lead you eastward out of the forest. What luck! She agrees far more readily than you ever anticipated. "But," she continues, extending her hand, "you'll have to hand over the woodland flute first." You hand over the flute, firmly restating that she may have it on the condition she leads you out of the bewildering wood. Riddis plucks the woodland flute out of your hands with glee and begins playing it as she skips away. Well, playing is a generous term. It sounds as though she may as well be murdering the poor thing. Riddis makes it clear that the fastest way out of the woods is through woodland, where she lives. "It's that-a-way," Riddis says gleefully, pointing past the stela before you. "Welcome to Woodland," Riddis says, gesturing out. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy for the rest of the day, so you'll have to wait till tomorrow to leave the forest," she says, and makes her way home. "Welcome to the forest oasis," the man greets you warmly. Apparently she's heard rumors of the dragon destroying another. "Our village would burn down so easily," she mutters, perhaps a bit more afraid of the symptom than the cause. You learn that Riddis's family is mired in debt and living hand to mouth, and I know how they got in so much trouble. "We are not in the business of meddling in the personal affairs of others," Melanie says curtly, cutting her off. This shortcut is reserved for use by woodland citizens only, the guard barks, clearly unwilling to let you pass. You happen upon a man greedily guzzling well water. Could it truly be that much better than ordinary water? Been a while since we've had any outsiders, the innkeeper. It turns out this inn is simply a place where the poor, lost souls trapped in the bewildering wood may recover. You may stay as long as you like, free of charge. You take note of a woman who appears quite ill. As it turns out, she is she is in no small amount of pain. Will you give her something to ease her suffering? The item you've proffered has no effect on her illness, but I appreciate the thought all the same, she says with a smile. Ridis's mother hands you mysterious card 3 as a token of her gratitude. She begins speaking of Ridis, who has been preparing the medicine that helps her get through the day. She blames her illness, and therefore herself, for making Ridis's life so difficult. The more she talks, the more her face drops. Ridis pores over a book while practicing on the woodland flute. She remains. The instant you begin speaking, she nearly leaps out of her skin and hides the book. She somehow hadn't noticed you. I thought you were the debt collectors. You can't sneak up on me like that, she stammers, struggling to regain her composure. The wooden dining table practically groans under the weight of the platters upon it. I've certainly earned this, you say to yourself, as Melanie takes no note of your boorish behavior. uttering a small prayer of thanksgiving before reaching for a plate of vegetables. Mar sits, eyes fixed on the food upon the table, statuesque in his stillness. What a good boy. Mar clears the entire table in a matter of seconds, even emptying the water. He lets out a self-satisfied burp that sends a small jet of just-drank water arcing out onto the floor. The sun sinks low, and the day draws to a close. A scream pierces the silence. Fire! You leap out of bed. The others follow suit, and before long you've burst through the front door and into the street. Riddis's house is ablaze, a nearby villager screams. My mother is still inside, Riddis shrieks, darting past you to fetch water from the well south of the village. Douse the flames with water, shouts the man. Water from the well. Riddis is gathering water in an attempt to fight the blaze all on her own. Mar's eyes light up. He scrambles over the edge of the well and sucks the well dry in an instant. He pokes at his swollen belly and gestures toward Riddis's house, as if to say, "Get me back there, quick." Quickly, put it out. You have to put it out, Riddis screams at Mar. Mar douses the house with the water he sucked up from the well. The fire is reduced to mere embers, and all is well. Or so you think. Something darts out from behind the house and attacks. The fiery beast dispatched, you return to putting out the last of the blaze with Mars. Ridus's mother, now safe, tells you the creature came out of nowhere and set the house aflame. What would bring a creature of fire to a place like this, you wonder? Light breaks on a new day, and the commotion of the fire feels but a nightmare. You lead your party to Ridus's house to ask for safe passage out of the bewildering wood. You follow the curious sounds to their source. Our resident well, he digs and digs, but no water is forthcoming. Melanie beseeches you to help the poor man. But well digging was forbidden by our ancestors long ago. You've heard the legends, you protest. How is that the best lie you can come up with? She snaps back. The man turns towards you both, oblivious to the squabble playing out before him. Do you have any salve that might ease my pain, he asks. You hand the man some salve. The instant he applies it to his hands, he resumes his furious digging, this time punctuated with shouts of "I feel incredible." Not long after that, water erupts from the ground with a force unlike. He sidles up to the jet of water and begins drinking from it as one would from a fountain. The man hands you mysterious card 4 to show his appreciation for the salve. Apparently, she's heard rumors of the dragon destroying. The girl heaves a sigh of relief after learning the fire wasn't the dragon's doing. You didn't hear it from me, but the cause of the fire was, she whispers, baseless gossip in your ear.